Did you hear the news? Now at Boost Mobile, we're offering unlimited talk, text, and data for only $25 a month, even for a single line, forever.
Forever?
Yes, forever. A month, toda la vida.
Toda la vida.
What's up, Clara? What's happening with you? How you doing? Doing all right today? Doing great. Just, having a little homework session. Doing some homework. Just about to have a session, you know what I'm saying? So I said, let me see what's going on. Maybe I'll figure maybe bring y'all into the homework session. You know, to be honest with you, I had my next video called ready and shit like that. And I actually forgot some stuff, and I had to actually go and redo pretty much redo some shit. So how y'all doing today? And so I was gonna bring y'all into, because we got the full moon happening on Saturday, and so that's pretty much what my next video is gonna be about and stuff. This full moon. Do y'all follow along with the planetary cycles? Y'all participate in the planetary cycles? Are y'all into astrology? What's up? What's up, Johnny? How you doing? Hopefully all is well with you. I'm about to get into this homework. guess y'all about to get a little prelim into the. Hey, what's up, Carrie? What's going on with you? About to get a little prelim into this full moon energy. You know, like I said, I messed up. I messed up with doing when I was doing my homework. Yeah, I seen the pictures on. I seen a lot of the pictures online. I see you. You said you was gonna slow down. It don't look like you slowed down. Still look like you going at that same pace that you did before. You know what I mean? Hey, we all a work in progress. We all a work in progress, right? Right. So I don't know if y'all are aware, but there's a full moon coming up on Saturday. All right. There's a full moon happening on Saturday. This full moon will be happening at. See, here's another thing. I don't know exactly. It's happening at 16 degrees 59 minutes. And my Virgo in me is, technically having trouble rounding it up to 17. But let's just say it is 17. Which is going to change. Hey, what's happening right now currently? The moon is at 18 degrees Sagittarius. We are currently in the ascendant is in Scorpio. 28 degrees Scorpio currently. 28 degrees currently. The sun is at 12 degrees Leo. Mercury's at 6 degrees Leo. Jupiter is at 12 degrees Cancer. Venus is at 5 degrees Cancer. Uranus is at 1 degree Gemini. Neptune and Saturn are both at 1 degree Aries, both retrograde. Pluto at 2 degrees Aries, Aquarius, retrograde. All right, and hey Becca, how you doing? I talk about when planets change signs. We have Mars at 28 degrees. Mars is at 28 degrees Virgo. Mars is, let me see. On Thursday, let me make sure to be exact. Excellent. On Wednesday at 11:11. And Wednesday at 6:30, around 6:30 Central Time, 6:30 Central Time. Mars will leave Virgo and enter into Libra. Which means today, tomorrow, and summer Wednesday, Mars is hanging out at the analytic degree of Virgo. That critical degree actually is in the bounds of Saturn. You know, that's in the bounds of Saturn. So this Mars at the critical degree has something to do with Saturn type energy, right? Which is interesting because right after Mars leaves Virgo, it goes into Libra. And at that point, Mars will be in detriment. Why will it be in detriment? Because Mars rules Aries, and Libra is the opposite sign of Aries, right? And when a planet is in the opposite sign of its rulership, it is said to be in detriment, right? So Mars is going from analytical Virgo into detriment in Libra, right? We got the planet of war going into the energy of balanced relationships. How is that going to work out? Right? And when planets, right before planets leave signs, they like to show their ass, for lack of a better word, right? So, what should Mars at the analytic degree or the critical degree in Virgo, what are some things we could probably see? You know, Mars at the 28th degree of Virgo. Mars is, you gotta remember, Mars is the planet of action, it's the planet of aggression, it's the planet of desire, it's your drive. Let's just say it governs the way you pursue things. Virgo is earth. Virgo is mutable earth, right? Mutable means changeable. Just for trivia's sake, mutable signs traditionally used to be called double-bodied. Yeah, double body. Double body. Mutable used to be called double body. Virgo likes details, likes to analyze. Virgo is about service. It's about health, routines. Uh, it's also connected to being critical and perfectionism and stuff like that. So we got the planet of action, energy, aggression, desire, drive, and the planet of in the energy in the earthly energy of details, analysis, service, health, routines, right? So what does it look like combining all of this together, these smashing into like a smash burger? The combination could lead to meticulous and strategic approach to action. The drive of Mars is channeled into practical, detailed work. So if there's some work right now that the next couple of days that you really need to focus in on the details, Mars can help you there. This can be highly productive, but it can also manifest as impatience, a tendency to be overly critical of oneself and or others, a feeling of being restless or agitated due to perceived lack of order. So you could be, if things are feeling chaotic around you, lack of order, now is the time to, get to it. The 28th degree, I've been saying, it's called an analytic or critical degree, often indicating a sense of urgency. It's a culmination, a final test before moving to the next sign. And so, how could you find, what does this mean for you, and how do y'all make it personal? Depends on your rising sign, and then find the houses that Mars rules for you. And it's going to be two. It's going to be two houses. It's going to be your Aries house and your Scorpio house. All right? And then if you really want to get down to it, not only look at the houses that Mars rules, also look at the house in which your natal Mars is in to put the full story together. All right. And then, I said that Mars is at the critical or analytic degree. Well, the end of every sign from about, let's just say, just to be on the safe side, 27 degrees onto the end, that's all analytic degree. Some signs go to 26, the let's see, Scorpio, Leo, Scorpio, Leo, Gemini, Scorpio, Gemini, Leo, Scorpio go to 24. Analytic degree or the critical degree starts at the 24th degree. But other than that, the analytic degree for all the other signs is later than that. Now, you might be asking yourself, why are all the ends of the signs called analytic or critical degree? It's because all the ends of every sign is ruled, or the bound ruler is one of the malefic planets, which would be Saturn or Mars. Both are those two are the malefic planets. All right. So when a planet gets to the end of each sign, they gotta answer to either Mars or Saturn. And so Mars has to answer to Saturn right now. And that's what being in the bounds of Saturn. Saturn has control of Mars. All right? And being in the bounds of Saturn, bounds is for anybody who's out there like, oh, what are you talking about? Bounds. I've never heard that. Bounds is traditional. It's more of a Hellenistic, traditional astrological concept where each sign is divided into unequal segments or bounds, ruled by one of the 5 visible planets. The sun or the moon the sun or the moon or the outer planets, as in Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, none of those are rulers of any of the bounds. It's only the 5 visible planets, which would be Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn. Those are your bound rulers. All right? And the planet ruling the bound is said to have a special influence over a planet placed in its segment. Just think about someone leaning on you, influencing you. You know how they say, have some good friends, don't have no bad influence friends? Right? So bounds is the influence of another planet, the influence that one planet has on another. Right? Now, Mars being in the bounds of Saturn, this adds a layer of, all right, now you got to ask yourself, what is Saturn? What does Saturn represent? What is Saturn about? And for anybody in here, I appreciate if you would tap the hearts and maybe say a couple of things. I could use the chat. All right. Let me know if this is resonating with you any. All right. If y'all even still here. So, what is Saturn about? Saturn is about seriousness and limitations, discipline, blockages, and stuff like that, right? And so, when we put Mars in this, Mars's energy has to take on a seriousness, be more disciplined, and Mars might be frustrated because of limitations and blockages and stuff like that, right? Now, I keep telling y'all to figure stuff out, this stuff is layers, right? And so I just said that Mars is in the bounds of Saturn. And Saturn is leaning or influencing Mars. Mars' action. So now we got to add another layer. Now we got to figure out, well, what's going on with Saturn? Why? Because Saturn, what's up, mentor? Because Saturn is responsible. And so think about it like this. You are responsible for something. that thing that you are responsible for, it's let's just say if you're not on top of your game, right? Say you're not on top of your game. What you responsible for is the outcome. Should the outcome be on top of your game? Should the performance and what you do with that, is it going to be the top or the best if you're not at your best? No. If you stressed out and all that, your work performance, your work, what you do and your work performance will be, you know, it will be seen in the outcome of your work. So the condition of and what Saturn is going through is going to influence. It's going to influence what Mars can do at this critical degree. Does that make sense to all of you guys? Y'all still with me? Holla if you hear me. Like Tupac. Holla if you hear me. Thank you, Mr. Mental. Now, where is Saturn? Saturn is retrograde in Aries, right? Now we got to figure out what's going on with Saturn before we plug it in to this Mars energy and what it's going to allow Mars to do. All right, so Saturn, again, now we got to figure out what, I threw a couple of key words at y'all with Saturn. Saturn is the planet of structure, responsibility, Saturn is the planet of structure, responsibility, discipline, limitation. Oh, and here's one that may trigger y'all. Here's something that Saturn is trigger warning. Saturn is the Lord of Karma. Now, I guess why I said trigger warning, how do y'all feel about karma? What karma do you have coming towards you? That's why I said trigger warning. Because, you know, when you think about that word karma, right? By the way, when Call of Duty first came out, that was my name on Call of Duty, Karma. Because you know how when you get killed, they say who killed you, and so I wanted so when somebody got killed by me on Call of Duty, on their screen it was pop up Karma killed you. And so that's why I said that's why I said trigger warning when I used that word karma, because but if you are doing what you're supposed to do and doing the right things and all of that shit, should you be actually scared of that word karma? Should we be scared of that? There's four. I think there's four people in this room. There's one answer. Mental. Mental said no. We shouldn't be scared of karma. All right, how about you other three? What do y'all think about karma? You know, Becca says no. How about you, Carrie? I don't know who the other person is up in here. So I know it's Mental, Carrie, Becca. I don't know who the fourth person is. So fourth person, if you make yourself known, I will address you too. Hey, I'm on the iPad, Mental, so I ain't sending the link to you to come through, but you know what I'm saying. I can shut it down in a minute. Sanskrit meaning of karma is action. So karma is shit, but you know we could run it back. All right, so let's move on. Saturn, structure, responsibility, discipline, limitations, and karma. And we put that in, by the way, Saturn's in Aries. Saturn don't like Aries. Saturn's in fall in Aries. I told y'all a planet is in detriment when it's in the opposite sign of its rulership. Well, a planet is in fall when it's in the opposite sign of its exaltation. Saturn is exalted in Libra, which means when Saturn is in Aries, it is in its fall. And what does fall mean? It's kind of like being exiled from your country. All right. Now, what is Aries? Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's cardinal fire, right? Mars rules Aries. Aries is associated, like I said, it's the first sign, so it's associated with beginnings and impulse, courage and self-assertion, right? So we take the planet of structure, we take the planet of responsibility, the planet of discipline, limitations, and karma, put it in its fall in the energy of beginnings, impulse, courage, and self-assertion. What, if you smash that together in a sandwich, what do you guys think that can manifest as? Saturn in Aries is considered a difficult placement because of its fall, the fall of Saturn. When a planet's in the fall, the planet's need for caution and structure, Saturn's need for caution and structure clashes with Aries' impulse and act now, think later energy. Leap before you look energy. Saturn don't like that shit. Right? It can lead to a feeling of it can lead to a feeling of being held back or having to constantly learn lessons related to self-assertion, initiation, and new things. So that could be, you want to act now. You want to do something, but you're scared and you feel blocked and all of that. How do you get through that? How do you push past that? But wait, that's not all. What is, even I said Saturn is in its fall in Aries, right? But that's not the only conditions going on with Saturn. Saturn is currently retrograde. What does retrograde mean? Moving backwards, right? Retrograde. Review, rewind, reminisce, remember. Michael Jackson had a song, Remember the Times. Oh, Saturn is Father Time. Remember the time? Remember back in the day? Retrograde, when the planet is retrograde, it makes the energy turn more inward instead of outwardly expression. The retrograde Saturn suggests a period of reevaluation and reassessment of responsibilities, commitments, and personal boundaries. It can take time to confront interference in past karmic issues. And so there could be some reflection, some reminiscing, some, on why you fail to act. In the past, up till now. And what do you have to do to move past those limitations, those blockages, those, insert your adjective. What is blocking you and stopping you from that warrior energy of courage to enact, to action, to face your, oh, here you go, mental. What is blocking you from facing your karma? Is it fear? Is it accountability? You don't want to be accountable for some of the stuff you've done. All right. Now here's the interesting thing, y'all. So, Mars is in Virgo, in the bounds of Saturn, right? But it's a few days away. I want to say on Friday, the same day as the full moon. The same day as the full moon. Mars, like I said, Mars is going to go into Libra on Wednesday, which is its detriment. But on Friday, and it's going to be on the cusp, 0 degrees. But it's going to take 2 days from Wednesday until Saturday to move that 1 degree. And when it gets to 1 degree, it's going to have a direct opposition with that Saturn. That a few days before, I was just in your bounds having an answer to you. Now, a few days later, now we in this direct tug of war. I'm in detriment and you in fall. Anything come to mind for y'all right now? Y'all getting any pictures? Any movies coming to mind? I keep saying it's a 2 o'clock session and I keep forgetting to start the session. So, what is an opposition? First off, what is an opposition? Right? An opposition, oh shit, goddamn, getting a fucking Charlie. What is opposition? The opposition is when two planets are 180 degrees apart from each other. And I say, you heard me say tug of war. That's pretty much what it looked like. Hey, one planet on that end of a rope, that one planet on that end, the other planet on that end. Pull, 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 keep pulling. Which one gonna win? Is Mars gonna win or is Saturn gonna win? Right? By the way, I said earlier, if you to get deeper, what houses does Mars rule for you? What houses does Saturn rule for you? Don't just look at Libra and Aries in your chart. Where are the houses that, so Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius. Where are those houses for you? Saturn, Capricorn and Aquarius are gonna be right next to each other. Mars is Aries and Scorpio. Where's your Aries? Where's your Scorpio? And the last layer is, where's your damn Mars? Because the placement of your Mars, and where's your Saturn in your chart? You got to connect all of those dots. Right? So for me, right, this Mars rules my 6th house and my 11th house. 6th house of daily routine and health, and my 11th house of groups I'm connected to. So this Mars in opposition to Saturn has something to do with what I do on a daily basis and the groups I'm connected to. It also has something to do with the 9th house, where my Aquarius is, and the 8th house, where my Capricorn is, right? 9th house is higher learning, beliefs, philosophy in life, foreign travel. 8th house is shared assets, occult knowledge. Occult knowledge. And so how is this manifesting for me? It could be, I need to be more Mars-like, more proactive-like, more whatever, with connecting with groups. 11th house, technology. 6th house, daily routine. Philosophy, occult knowledge, i.e., Paul, what are you doing on YouTube at 2 o'clock on the middle of the day streaming? My Mars is in the 9th house of high learning. My Saturn's in the 1st house, Gemini. I'm on here speaking about 8th house topics, and some people call me a 9th house teacher because the way I connect with groups. And, hey, I like the way you do this Scorpio stuff on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? It's helping me, Mars, detach, cut and sever my way from old beliefs that I held and was born into. You see how I put that together? Y'all can do that for yourself. You can do that for yourself. I just gave you the formula. Now, like I said, the Mars, what's the opposition? It's when two planets are at 180 degrees apart. This is tension. This, squares and oppositions are tension. It creates a push-pull dynamic. The energies of two planets are in direct opposition. It's like two boxers in a boxing match, creating a situation where they must be balanced or reconciled, which goes to the story of two wolves. Everybody got two wolves, a black wolf and a white wolf, fighting each other inside them. Which one wins? The white wolf or the black wolf? Well, it depends on which wolf you feed. Because if you feed the black wolf, it's going to be more stronger because it's getting the food. The white wolf is going to be malnourished. But if you feed the white wolf's going to win, and the black wolf's going to lose because the black wolf is going to be malnourished from not eating. You're not feeding. Treating one wolf like a prisoner, bread and water. One wolf getting bread and water, and the other wolf getting filet mignon, steak and potatoes. Now you could say the one you're not feeding could actually be so mad at the one that's getting the steak and potatoes that they just want to really get at them. And the drive of hunger makes that one wolf overtake the other one. But to get them to coexist, you have to find a way to feed both wolves. You gotta split the whatever you're gonna feed, you gotta give a little bit over here and give a little bit over here. Correct, Becca. Dude, you gotta find a way to feed them both. And you said to do the dance of life. Some people go out on the dance floor and dance by themselves, but a lot of times when they hit the dance floor, you got somebody to dance with. So, you ever heard that saying, it takes two to tango? The tango is a dance. How many of y'all in this chat, in this live, know how to do the tango? Or will you be stomping on your partner's toes? Mars in Virgo, right, is moving, like I said, it's going from Virgo into Libra. It's a powerful and challenging alignment, right? The meticulous, detail-oriented Mars now going into balance, Libra. Yep, I appreciate it. Like the video. Hit the hearts if you can. All right. So Libra, what is Libra? Libra is cardinal. It's cardinal air. Aries is cardinal, but it's cardinal fire. All right. And Libra is about balance, justice, and partnerships. Mars in Libra now. Mars in Libra is different than Mars in Virgo. Meat tastes different with some Tony Sassery on it and Mrs. Dash. Mars in Aries is Tony Sassery. Mars in Libra is Mrs. Dash. Seasoning. Right? So Mars going into Mrs. Dash. Libra, right, is one, Libra wants peace and cooperation. But what do you think Mars is about? You think Mars is about peace and cooperation? No, Mars is, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with that. Mars is about peace and cooperation. I'm going to get peace and cooperation out of you after the war. After I kick your ass. Oh, shit. Mars is like, oh, I'm gonna get some action out of you, boss, after I warm that ass up. Now, think about that. You got a planet that want to get some peace by warming that ass up, but you got, hey, Gala, but you got an energy, Libra, that's all about peace and balance and cooperation. This might be dating myself, but do any of y'all remember the great Rodney King? Do y'all remember what Rodney King said? What Rodney King said is all Libra. The great Rodney King, after the Watts riots and all of that, he came back and said, can't we all just get along? Shout out to Rodney. Y'all remember that? Can't we all just get along? Damn, we all can't get along, mental. We all just can't get along. Well, okay, you gonna make me go there, huh, mental? You gonna make me go there, huh? What's up, Gypsy? What's going on with you? Welcome to the session. It's called 2 o'clock session, but it's 3-something here now. And such a session ain't finished. So you gonna make me go there, huh, mental? I'm doing well, All right, we say, can't we all just get along? I said, Rodney King said that, right? Can't we all just get along? And the answer, and mental typed in no, right? And Becca typed in the dance of life. The dance of life. Well, if I change one of the words in what she said, right? From dance to game, the game of life. At that point, could I say, within the game of life, us not getting along is actually part of the game? Because I'm gonna tell you why, Gypsy. And when I say this, people don't. You gotta wrap your brain around it. A couple of people that mental Becca, done heard me say this before. Hey, Gypsy. Your enemy is actually your best friend. Your enemy and that person that you can't stand actually does more for you than your best friend, that person you really get along with. That person who you really get along with and you like to hang out with and all of that shit, they don't push you to do nothing. You in the comfort zone with them. Most friends don't challenge you. Most friends don't have the courage to challenge you because they don't want to lose you as a friend. I want to be liked. But that enemy, that villain, that, that's the person I don't give a fuck. But that's the person who actually really drives you, push you. So, in all actuality, there's a lot of people, there's some people in your life that you actually looked at them as, man, I can't believe they did all of this to me. Man, they your biggest enemy. You actually need to pick up the phone and call that person and thank them for the space they pushed you in. Because without them pushing you to that space, you'll probably still be sitting in that same little miserable ass spot talking about I wish I would do and I wish I would. Yeah. Your enemies do more for you than your friends and family. That's just my opinion. You may not agree with it, but you know what I'm saying. But you gotta take a big picture look at it. You gotta detach yourself emotionally from the situation. Take a big picture look at it. And then you'll see what the fuck I'm saying about your enemy, those people who, your biggest haters, your biggest ones that just, Yeah, they are the ones who actually are pushing you to greatness. You want to know what I mean? Here it is. Who is Superman without Lex Luthor? Who is Spider-Man without the Green Goblin? Who are they? Just a boring ass dude writing papers. Yeah. Who is the Batman without the Joker? He's just a rich asshole. But, you know, he needs the Joker. He needs the Joker to allow him to be who he is and who he's going to be. Right? So, by the way, y'all, Mars is going in detriment, right? In Libra. How long will Mars be in Libra? Let me see. Mars will be in Libra, let's see, until, oh shit, my birthday. Day before my birthday. Mars gonna be in Libra until the day before my birthday. On my birthday, Mars gonna get out of Libra and go into Scorpio, the 22nd. Right? So until now, from Friday, Wednesday, from Wednesday until September 22nd, 23rd. Let's go with the 23rd. From now until we get to Libra season. Mars is going to be in detriment in Libra, right? And so what energy should you watch out for, right? This can lead to watch out for indecisiveness, a tendency for people pleasing, passive aggressive behavior. And when I'm talking about this, not only people acting this way towards you, you could be in this acting some way towards somebody else. Are you passive aggressive? Do you people please? Indecisiveness. The Mars drive is channeled into social and relational matters, often seeking justice or balance in partnerships. Mars in Libra wants to fight for peace. Y'all could actually currently be in a situation in Mars is pushing you to take action to bring peace. Hey, Mars likes to cut and sever. And so sometimes the action to bring peace is to cut and sever. That relationship, not the person. I don't want y'all to go to jail. I ain't talking to you saying go and shank somebody up like you in the jail. I ain't saying that. But I'm saying you might have to cut and sever the relationship. All right? Now, Mars in opposition to Saturn, Mars in Libra in opposition, Mars in detriment in Libra in opposition to Saturn in Aries and fall. The Mars in Libra in its detriment is a place where Mars's direct energy is diffused and often held in check. Hey, you ever seen somebody be talking about hey, I'm about to act like I'm about to fight them people. Hold me back. Or somebody trying to fight, but you got people holding them back. Nah, man, calm down. It's like the sponge effect when they put pressure on you. What's inside you comes out, and only during the pressure are you able to see it. Well, you know what they say, Carrie, pressure busts pipes. How do you relieve the pressure before the pipes bust? Saturn in Aries and in its fall is a place where Saturn's need for structure is challenged by Aries' impulse and desire for quick results. What does that mean? Don't do the first thing that comes to your mind. Right? Now the conflict, the opposition. Mars in Libra is focused on partnership, fairness, and weighing all options before acting. It wants to act for the good of the relationship or the group. Saturn in Aries is focused on self, on individual boundaries, and on hard work of building one's own identity and path. Hey, come join the group. You want to be part of this group? We would love to have you part of the group. Nah, man, I'm just trying to build my own thing. That's pretty much what that said, right? So what are some manifestations that we could be seeing the next 2 days or a couple of days when, as this energy plays out? Relationship struggles. There can be significant friction in partnerships, both romantic and professional. Partnerships and relationships come in all shapes, sizes. And don't think romantic with this energy. You may feel a push-pull between your desire to cooperate and your need to assert your own needs and boundaries. Delayed action. Mars wants to act, but the opposition to Saturn can create delays, obstacles, and feeling blocked. This can be frustrating, especially if you feel like you're being held back by others. It's one thing to not be ready and being held back because you're not ready. But what if you think you're ready and others are looking at you saying, nah, it ain't time yet. How you think that's gonna make you feel? Happy, sad, frustrated? Insert emotion here. Justice versus self-interest. Mars in Libra wants to be fair and just, but Saturn in Aries is demanding that you take personal responsibility and stand your ground. You may have to make difficult decisions that prioritize your own needs over the harmony of the group. The group wants to go eat pizza. Let them go eat pizza. You going down to the salad bar. And me going to the salad bar don't have to stop y'all from go eating y'all pizza. Go eat your goddamn pizza and leave me alone with my salad. And what else could we see being going on right now? Somebody could, or someone, something can come in and try to test your boundaries. When somebody is on the perimeter of your boundaries looking for a opening, how are you going to react? This opposition is an excellent time to define and reinforce your personal boundaries. The push-pull of this aspect forces you to confront where you have been overly accommodating, Libra, or where have you been too rigid or self-focused. Have you been too rigid and self-focused and you need to think about others? Or have you been too accommodating and worried about the group so much that you forgot yourself? The opposition between Mars and Libra and Saturn in Aries is a powerful transit that forces a reckoning between our personal boundaries, desires, and our relational responsibilities. It's a period of learning how to assert ourselves in a way that is both fair to others and true to our own needs. The frustration that can arise from this transit is a catalyst for building healthier boundaries and a more balanced approach to both self-assertion and cooperation. Yeah. So that's going on during this full moon. But guess what, y'all? That was just one little piece. I said Mars is going to be at 1 degree Aries. 1 degree Libra. Saturn's at 1 degree Aries, right? Well, something else is at 1 degree Aries, which is going to add another flavor to this. Neptune. Neptune is sitting at 1 degree Aries. So Neptune and Saturn are conjunct at 1 degree Aries, and this Mars is going to be in opposition to both of them. What's Neptune? The planet of dreams, illusions, and all of that, right? And so I ain't really, I ain't really gonna go into all of that, but think about it. Just a simple. What if you feel or you thinking that others are blocking you? But Neptune, right there, could be saying, you delusional about that. Ain't nobody blocking you. It's your lack of action. Or it could go over the other way around. Hey, you sitting up here thinking you ain't did a lot of action and you still got a lot of work, but Neptune's, hey, what you talking about? You done put in plenty of work. You got it fucked up. Huh? Oh, I thought I didn't do the initiation and the initiating and doing all the work. What, you telling me I did enough? Now guess what else? Mars, like I said, Mars is going to be at 1 degree Libra, right? Guess what else is at 1 degree on that day? Uranus is going to make it to 1 degree Gemini. Gemini is air, so is Libra. So that means Uranus, the planet of shock, unexpected, liberation, freedom, is going to be trying this Mars in detriment in Libra. So we got a trine. Trine is Jupiter energy, supporting energy, the energy of growth, supporting energy. So we got Uranus trining this Mars while in opposition to this Saturn and Neptune. But wait, that ain't all. Pluto is at 2 degrees Aquarius, retrograde. Mars, by the way, Aquarius, air sign. Pluto, the planet of death, regeneration. Out of the ashes rises the phoenix. At 2 degrees. Mars is going to be at 1 degrees. Air to air. I just told you, from Gemini. Air to air. So what's air to air? Trine. So not only is this Mars going to be trine Uranus over there in Gemini, it's going to be trine. It's applying trine. It's 1 degree away. So it's moving to that Pluto. 1 degree away. It's an applying trine. Basically, this Pluto, you could add this Pluto in there. Because 1 degree away, oh, that's in the mix. So not only do we have the planet of unexpected, shocking, liberation, with Pluto, the planet of death, transformation, all focused on Mars. Both of them giving Mars, Jupiter type energy, trine type energy, supporting type energy in this fight against Saturn and Neptune. By the way, with all that said, the sun and the moon are going to be in a tug of war. That's what a full moon is. The moon and the sun are in opposition. While Mars and Saturn and Neptune are going to be in opposition. Whatever seed you planted in January, at the new moon in Aquarius, around January 28th, 29th, somewhere around there. If you planted a seed, and if you did the work, Saturday, the bloom is blossoming. You might not be ready to pick the fruit yet, but it's flowering. It's blooming. That's seed. That's if you did the work. But if you didn't do the work, ain't nothing blooming. Your shit is withering on the vine. And you're going to be showing that shit on Saturday. So, are you going to have some plush, luscious, juicy fruit? Hey, that was a gum. Y'all remember juicy fruit gum? Or are you going to have some stuff withering on a vine? All right. Yeah, I used to fuck me up some juicy fruit. That used to be my shit. All right. Hey, by the way, y'all got any questions yet? Y'all got any questions so far? Any questions? Any questions? Y'all can ask any question, of the stuff I covered so far. Anything about Mars, anything about Saturn, anything about Libra, Aries. Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right. How many people in here know your rising sign? For the people in here who know your rising sign, I might give you it's not out yet, but I might give you a sneak peek on what this full moon may mean for you. So y'all type if you want to hear your rising sign stuff, type your rising sign down there. If you want to hear the prelim of your rising sign forecast, Aries rising, we got an Aries rising. Becca is Aquarius rising. So I got an Aquarius rising and an Aries rising. Want to hear? All right. Like I said, it ain't out yet. This stuff ain't out yet. So tell me if you, matter of fact, after I read it to you, Gala, tell me if you can feel it, if it resonates with you. All right? All right. So, Aries rising. This is an identity revolution. An identity revolution. There's an unmasking happening. Where's the unmasking? Remember I said all this other stuff going on with Mars? The unmasking is in that. I just didn't cover it with y'all. Y'all gonna have to catch the long form. Aries rising, there's an unmasking happening in your 11th house, right? And so I know you sitting there thinking, what is 11th house? 11th house has to do with your social network, your friends, your friend groups, collective identity, faith, or radical. And also has to do, 11th house has to do with dreams and wishes. Your dreams and wishes. Not your dreams at night, but like, I have a dream. Right? Now here's a question for you, Gallo. Who are your real allies versus performative connections? Who are your real allies versus performative connections? The conflict, Mars opposition, this conflict is happening for you from your 7th to your 1st. 7th house is relationship. 1st house is self. Partnership dynamics explode when I say partnerships, that's romantic relationships, business contracts, shit like that. Anybody you have a relationship with. You have a relationship with the gas person you pay at the gas station every time. You see that same person at the store, you got a relationship with that person. Right? So partnership dynamics explode as you reclaim your personal agency. The tension between maintaining relationships and honoring your authentic self reaches a breaking point. The blessing. Well, I didn't cover this, but I didn't cover this with y'all on this stream, and it's gonna be in the video, but there's some other things happening during that. Like 2 days, I'll tell y'all, 2 days after the full moon, the two benefic planets, Jupiter and Saturn, Jupiter and Venus. Venus and Jupiter are the two benefic planets. Jupiter is the greater benefic. Venus is the lesser benefic. Well, they both are going to meet each other in Cancer on the 11th, I think, right? So whatever house Cancer is for you, the two benefic planets are coming to bless that area in a way. Right? So for you, Cancer is your 4th house of home, family, and roots. Right? So Venus, Jupiter brings ancestral healing and emotional foundation rooted in truth, not tradition. Your private life becomes a sanctuary for genuine belonging. Here's a question. What partnerships or collective role have you outgrown? Is there some friends, partnerships, or a role in your community that you've outgrown? How will you lead from authenticity rather than expectations? People expect you to be doing some shit, and you just be doing it just because of their expectations. But how will you lead from get out from under those expectations but still lead from your authentic truth? Action, Aries rising. Gala. Stop people pleasing. Ouch. Own your power. Don't tone down your fire. Communicate what's real, even if it challenges group dynamics. So what's that mean? You might be in a setting and you might hold back and not say something because you know the group don't agree with it. But this is saying, say that shit anyway. Be your authentic you. By the way, it said, how will you lead from authenticity rather than expectation? A leader can't be scared to go against the group. All right. Taurus rising. Still here, Taurus rising? The values upheaval for you. It's a values upheaval for you. The unmasking, 10th house. Career, mass, public reputation crumble. Personal, professional secrets and authority figures are exposed. Let go of being the stable one if it's just performance. Does you and your boss or your superior at work need to have a conversation, Tori? The conflict. Mars in your 6th house. Mars, the conflict is from your 6th to your 12th. Daily routines clash with spiritual calling. Health or work habits battle subconscious fears and hidden exhaustion. The blessing, your 3rd house. A new way of thinking and communicating emerges from the breakdown. Intellectual and creative rebirth feels divinely guided. Your soul prompt. What stability are you performing that no longer serves your soul's growth? How do you honor success without carrying others' expectations? Damn, that's my arrow. I'm the one that gotta get away from expectations. What you doing with that? Action. The action for you, Taurus. Quiet rebellion. Change routines. You don't have to carry your family's expectations. Honor your own definition of success. So Taurus rising, what is success for you? Aquarius rising, you still here? Anybody else come in? Rising sun come in? That nigga you want? Still here, Carrie? The authentic Aquarius rising, the authentic revolution. The unmasking, 1st house, complete identity, death, and rebirth. You can't hide behind personas anymore. Your entire self faces public examination. The conflict. Mars up 9th to the 3rd. Higher beliefs conflict with daily communication. Philosophical truth versus practical expression creates growth tension. The blessing comes to your 6th house of daily life becomes a sacred practice of emotional integration. Work and health routines align with your authentic purpose. Your soul prompt, Aquarius rising. Question. Who are you becoming when you stop curating yourself? What is curating? Curating.
Curate.
Curating. What is curate? Oh shit. What is curating?
Curating involves carefully choosing, organizing, and presenting content, like art or information, to create a meaningful experience. It's about more than just selecting items. It also includes crafting a narrative to enhance their value.
So, who are you becoming when you stop curating yourself? How will your authenticity inspire others to drop their masks? What, Aquarius rising, what do you have to do to make other people be real with you? To drop their mask and false, stop acting phony and just be them. What do you have to do to make others be them around you? Action. Be unapologetically you. Personal reinvention is brewing. Own your transformation and let your genuine self lead the way. Let your genuine self lead the way and own your transformation. Virgo rising, hopefully that resonated with you, Aquarius. Becca. Virgo. The service revolution. The unmasking, Virgo rising. Oh, 6th house. What did I say when you came in, Carrie? Work, health, daily service routines need complete overhaul. I said, you told me you was going to stop doing all that work. I see you on Facebook at a show every week now. I showed Becca. Look at it. Look at her, Becca. She said she was gonna not do some more. Look at her at another festival, doing more wire. Her hands probably hurting. Work. Okay. Check it out. Workplace lies or health truths are exposed, revealing sacrificial patterns. Where are you sacrificing yourself? The conflict, 2nd to the 8th. Mars opposition. Your personal resources clash with shared transformation. Money or self-worth battles, power dynamics, and deep change. Your blessing comes from the 11th house. New friends and group affiliations based on authentic service. Social and aspirational rebirth align with soul purpose. Do you need to get with on a different circuit of festivals? Do you need to get with a different crew when it comes to those festivals and stuff you go to? Soul prompt. Question. Where does perfectionism mask emotional needs? Where does perfectionism mask emotional needs? How will you serve from wholeness, not woundedness or martyrdom? How will you serve from wholeness, not woundedness and martyrdom? The action for you. Demand fair value. Carrie, is it time to raise your prices? Inner peace is a daily practice. Release the burden of perfection and choose presence over performance. Any other rising signs? Any other rising signs in here? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Any rising sign in here you want a prelim, let me know. Let me know before I move on. All right. Does it resonate with you? Does it resonate with you? Yeah. Hey, look. I'll give you mystical. Mystical. Uh, let me see. Uh, Pisces rising, the spiritual awakening, the unmasking for Pisces rising. It happens in the 12th house. Spiritual bypassing and self-sacrifice patterns face disillusion. Hidden service, martyrdom, or escape patterns are exposed in solitude. The conflict, 8th to 2nd. Shared transformation conflicts with personal values. Power struggles over money or intimacy force boundary settings. The blessing comes in the 5th house of creative joy and romantic love rebuild on foundation of truth. New creative projects or beautiful romantic beginnings emerge. Your soul prompt. What does your soul need to create versus prove? What does your soul need to create versus prove? How do you serve without sacrificing yourself or losing your essence? Action for Pisces rising would be face the shadow. Sacred service begins with sacred self-respect. Let your healing let the healing be the example others need to see. All right. For that's Pisces. What's up, Lord? What's happening with you? Gemini rising? I didn't do Gemini yet. I was just whoever was in here. Hey, Lord, why you making me throw myself under the bus for all these people? I'm a Gemini rising too, Lord. Now you're gonna make me put my laundry all out there, Lord. All right, here we go, bro. All right. For me and you, dog, this is a mental metamorphosis. We're undergoing a mental metamorphosis right now, right? So the unmasking for us comes in our belief systems and higher learning, is undergoing radical questioning, philosophical or legal truth surface, forcing ideological reckonings, right? So belief systems, if you questioning stuff right now, and if you even going through some legal shit, right? That could be surfacing. The conflict for me and you happens from the 5th to the 11th, right? Creative expression conflicts with social expectations. Your joy versus group approval creates necessary tension. So let's just say, Lord, people might not like the way you communicate. They might think you too much, or with your creativity and all that. I mean, why are you? Do you need to pump up the volume or turn the volume down? Our blessings coming to the second house because Venus and Jupiter is going to meet in our second house, which is self worth. It's our money house. Self worth rebuilds authentic values, not inherited ones. A newfound financial foundation or powerful affirmation of your value emerges. Lord, you waiting for a check? Waiting for a check to come in? Right? Hey, prompt. This is a question, Lord. Me and you got to ask ourselves this question. What truth have you and me been afraid to speak to? What truth have you been afraid to speak to? How will your voice serve liberation rather than conformity? How can your voice and what you say liberate you instead of keeping you in prison? Action. This is our action for you. For us. Defend our joy. Let go of needing approval. Your truth is your brand. You see my brand? This is my brand. I am Astrology Readings. This is my truth. I wear one of these everywhere I go. I don't walk out the house unless I'm in this motherfucker. And if I'm about to leave and I'm not in this, I go in the room and take whatever I got on off and put one of these on. Right? So, when it says your truth is your brand, speak with purpose and power. Speak with purpose and power. So, Lord, I don't know when you came in, but what I'm speaking about is new moon to full moon. So if you planted a seed, set an intention around January, the end of January, 29th, to be exact, right? If you planted the seed, that seed, and if you did the work and put in the work, that seed is about to bloom around Saturday. Right? So you said, definitely makes sense. I dabble in contract law, speaking on police stopping law, teaching people how to grow plants. I gotta turn it up. Ninth house, because the unmasking, it said ninth house belief systems, high learning, undergo radical questioning philosophy. You know what else ninth house is? No, I'm just reading reading what you said. You know what else ninth house is, Lord? Marketing. What's your marketing like, Lord? All right, here's the question. Do you? Do you market yourself? Do you market yourself enough? Do you sell yourself enough? Are you putting in the work with that? Right? Or are you scared to not really in marketing, putting yourself out there? Are you not being your authentic self and all of that shit? Or are you just doing what you think everybody gonna like? Well, okay. So what does that mean? That means to me, hey, if something was going on around January, what is this full moon showing you, coming up to showing you? Oh, you ain't put enough work into spreading your name out there and getting your brand out there. Right? I don't know. I don't know, like, where all your other planets are. Like, where's your Mercury at? How old are you? How old are you? I don't even know. How old are you? Oh, 31? Huh. So you just finishing your Saturn return. You got Saturn in Pisces? Yeah, you 31, you probably got Saturn in Pisces, and you probably just finishing your Saturn return. In all actuality, bro, you're not really finished your Saturn return because Saturn is about to dip back into Pisces. I don't know what degree you have your Saturn is in your chart. If it's from 20, let's just say 24 Pisces to 29, Saturn's about to come and touch your shit again. Right? So that's why I said your Saturn return ain't fully over with yet, because Saturn's about to dip in there, right? But so what does Saturn rule for you? You got Saturn, Saturn rules for both of us. It rules our ninth and our eighth house. Higher learning, beliefs, philosophy in life. Eighth house, shared assets, right? So it's not going to retrograde. It's not going to get all the way back. It's not going to get all the way back to your it's not going to get all the way back to your natal Saturn, right? But it's going to apply some pressure. So something from back in the day, like you've been working on this shit for 2.5 years, and now Saturn's gonna go back in there and remind you of some shit, right? Or like we were saying, hey, do you have your marketing together? Eighth house is also shared assets, debts, taxes, sex, other people's money. So you know what I'm saying? This ooh, was you doing something with a partner? Did you start this with a partner? But what's your sun sign? You said your Mercury's in Cancer. What's your sun sign? By the way, you're a Cancer. Yeah. So, Yeah, that's shared assets. Right. So here's the question. Now I got another question for you now. Now I gotta know. What's the degree of your ascendant and what's the degree of your sun? Is your sun above the ascendant line or below the ascendant line? So you was born right about 6-7 in the morning, right before the sun came up, right as the sun was coming up. So you got a first house sun. But what I'm trying to find out, what I want to know is the sun above the ascendant or below the ascendant? If it's below the ascendant, you. Wait. I thought you said you're a Gemini rising. Oh. Well, what I read to you don't apply to you then, if you're a Cancer rising. Man, you made me throw myself under the bus for nothing. Man. Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde, right? So you're a Cancer rising, You're a Cancer rising Gemini sun with Mercury in the first, or Mercury in Cancer. What's your moon sign? Cancer rising, the emotional sovereignty, intimate. Oh, you said you lent some money to your brother. Look, why is it? Intimate partnerships and shared resources demand authentic vulnerability. Financial or psychological secrets surface, exposing hidden power dynamics. So are you and your brother fighting over this startup? 4th to the 10th. Oh shit. Family dynamics clash with professional identity. The tension between private emotional truth and public reputation peaks. So is your brother walking around like he big shit and you know you the power behind that shit and you like, damn. Alright. The blessing, first house. Complete identity rebirth. You become who you were meant to be. Profound emotional and spiritual transformation directly impacts your life direction. How do you honor your emotions without being controlled by it? How do you honor your emotions without being controlled by it? What does authentic nurturing look like versus caretaking from wound? What does authentic nurturing look like versus caretaking from wound? Action. Cut financial or emotional ties that drain you. Stop trying to be worthy enough. You already are. Let that truth reshape your boundaries. Okay. Hey, Lord, here's a question. That's what he say. What if he don't do it? Then what? I'll also tell you, with you being a Cancer rising and a Gemini, right? That tells me you a day bird. So that means you was probably born in between 7:30 and 9:30. Right? Yeah. Being a day bird, born in day bird, but your Mercury rose after the sun. So sometimes, Lord, the way you think and communicate works against you. Especially, it might be, and it might be the way you communicate with siblings around the neighborhood and all that. Some of the way you communicate might lead to yourself undoing. Do you criticize and try to perfect people and all of that shit too much? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, right? But then your moon is in Leo, right? And Leo is in the second house. And the moon in the second house rules your chart rule, your ascendant. But here's the problem. The moon in Leo is in a blind spot to the ascendant. So, this could be the energy of somebody spending money to get attention. Unconsciously. Or doing things with money for people so they'll like you. Leo. Right? Because, yeah, your sun, by the way, all right, your Gemini sun in the 12th of self-undoing rules that moon. And so, some of your self-undoing when it comes to money, self-esteem, self-worth, and all of that has something to do with communication or lack thereof. But that, like I said, I ain't looking at your chart. You just telling me where you shit at. So I'm just being general, dog. Hey, don't beat yourself up. That's all. Everybody, it's a work in progress, man. You know what I mean? I'll tell you this: that Saturn in Pisces, that Saturn. I don't know where you got your Mars at, but Saturn is your friend. Mars, not so much. Right? So when it comes to higher learning and your beliefs and shared assets, Lord, do you be talking down on people? Like you on some high horse? Oh shit, your Mars is in detriment in Taurus. Your Mars rules your fifth, and your the Mars rules your fifth of lovers and your 10th of public. How you seen publicly? Hey, I got a question for you, Lord. With your Mars, has when you date someone, has your lovers come from groups, out of friend groups? Like, oh, this girl connected to this group, and that's how you end up finding like who you date and all that shit. Mm. What if I told you need to stop doing that shit? What if I say you need to get out them fucking groups and go find a girl somewhere else? A mate somewhere else. I don't know how you rock, but you know. Ooh, now I got a question. Now I got another question, Lord. Have you ever dated one of your friend's exes? Has one of your friends ever dated yours? Reverse it. Mm. All right, fair enough. All right. Could you come across very publicly? Do you come across very pushy, straightforward? You know what I'm saying? In your face. What's up, John? How you doing? You all right? Yeah, all is well. Mm. Hey, John, what? Ooh, aren't you a Taurus? Wait, are you a Taurus rising? Sag rising? I gave some preliminary full moon horoscope. That's the Saturday. The full moon is Saturday. So Sagittarius rising. This full moon for you on Saturday is about the truth. Look at what he typed, y'all. The Truth Crusade. Third house unmasking. Communication style and local community need authentic revision. Rumors or contract truths surface, demanding honest dialogue. The conflict for you, John, is 11th to 5th house. Group loyalty conflicts with creative authenticity. Friends versus genuine self-expression creates necessary friction. Your blessing comes in the 8th house. Deep intimacy or shared resources blessed by emotional honesty. New financial or emotional contracts built on truth. What What sacred truth are you being called to speak right now, John? How will your teaching serve liberation, not ego or others' expectations? Action. Speak your truth. Truth is frequency. Speak what's real, even if it breaks old mental frameworks or challenges groupthink. Hey, no problem, Lord, no problem. Thank you for stopping in and all that shit. Shit, I see you Friday, y'all. Yeah, and then Friday I'll be ready to. I don't know when I'm gonna do this video. I might do it tomorrow or Wednesday, but I'll put all this information out there, you know, because I know y'all, especially John and Gala, you know, I know y'all interested in the tarot part. I know y'all gonna be interested in that part. All right. Uh, hmm. Hmm. Let's see if I can find it. Man, I can't find my. Oh, all right. I'll just tell y'all this. the new moon, the new moon, which was January, happened in the bounds of the Empress, and the full moon is happening in the bounds of the Wheel of Fortune. The new Venus was exalted, and Empress was exalted, sitting on a pedestal in the energy of the moon. Jupiter was in detriment. Wheel of Fortune was in detriment in the sign of the Lovers, retrograde. When we get to the full moon, the Empress will be 2 days away from sitting right next to an exalted Wheel of Fortune in the sign of the Chariot. I don't know if y'all picked that. Oh, thank you, John. Thank you. How does this show up esoterically in tarot? The Emperor, uh, which is divine order, rightful authority, self-mastery, in the fourth house, with which is foundation, ancestry, and root systems. It's here to strip away the false. And Jupiter and Venus is here to offer grace to what's real. Right? Now, I just told y'all that, add this on top of that. The Empress, right? This new moon, the new moon in January happened in the Five of Wands and the Deacon of the Empress. This this full moon is happening in the Six of Wands. I mean, the Six of Swords, and the Deacon of the Magician, in the sign of the Star, which is ruled by the World card. Does that make sense to any of y'all? Mm. Mm. All right, I'll read this to y'all before I go. This lunar cycle is a silent war and a psychic voyage. The Empress finds herself on a battlefield, the Five of Swords, surrounded by distortions of love, idealism, and power. But when the full moon rises, it's time to leave. The Six of Swords says, no more games. Mercury retrograde carries the magician's tools backward, not to manipulate, but to mend. And above it all, the star still shines. The world still turns, but it's not the world card in glory. It's the emperor reversed. Structures falling, kingdoms crumbling. You are not being punished. You're being restructured. So go cross the river, drop the sword, and only carry what heals you. Hopefully that resonates with y'all. That falls in, like I said, that's what tarot-wise, what the new moon to full moon cycle was about. That's gonna fall in your Aquarius axis, Aquarius Leo axis. I want to thank y'all for rocking with me today. And hopefully when the whole video comes out, y'all check it out. Hopefully y'all learned something new today. That was a goal. And yeah. Know thyself, balance your energy. Y'all have a great day.